Today on the channel, we're going to unbox and review Damien Leone's Terrifier, Art the Clown. Welcome back to the channel. We have an Ultimate NECA figure. It is Terrifier's Art the Clown. And I have heard lots of good things about this action figure. I have heard a lot of people say that this is the best NECA Ultimate figure there is out there. So I am super excited to get into this. Excitement in the air. It feels so good. But here we go. Let's get on with the show. We are going to check out the packaging, and you have the poster art, Art the Clown right there. Damien Leone's Terrifier Ultimate Art the Clown action figure. Looks awesome. On this side, we get Damien Leone's Terrifier NECA logo there. We get Art the Clown holding his hacksaw, and that's a pretty gruesome scene in the movie. On this side, he's holding a cleaver, and it says Damien Leone's Terrifier NECA. I love how it looks like he's cutting his way out of the box there. That looks pretty cool. On the top, you get Damien Leone's Terrifier warning, choking hazard, 17 years of age and up, NECA logo right there. And on the bottom, we get the makers of the action figure, barcode right there, and that's about it. And then when we open it up, we get to see a picture of our action figure and then our actual action figure in there. Trying to get it so the glare isn't on there. Maybe one of these will get it good. All right. Let's go ahead and cut Art out of the box. I'm going to take him from the bottom. Cut the tape here. Oh, man. Excited. That knife out of here. Open it up. We're going to grab his tray and his plastic coffin here. Pull that out. There we go. Empty box right there. And here we go. Art the Clown in his tray and plastic coffin. We'll pull him out of his tray and set him over there. And here is his backdrop there. Nothing special. Guess it's okay. Looks like that back room of that building there where he got all the kills at. Now here is Art the Clown in his plastic coffin. There is a ton of accessories with this thing. A ton. Lots of hands, lots of weapons, extra head sculpts. This is going to be a lot. All right, we are going to pull off. Okay, I've seen this before. NECA's done this before where there's so many accessories. They just put a whole cap over top of that. There is a little tape here on the bottom. There we go. That's pretty cool. First thing we're going to get out is going to be this big whip, this homemade whip. It's got all these sharp instruments on the end of it. Got a pair of scissors, a scalpel, another pair of scissors. So, I mean, he beats the crap out of somebody with that. But that's very nice. And then we're going to get this kind of little axe looking thing. It can like the end of a claw hammer right there to pull up nails. I guess it's kind of a carpenter's or a roofer's, maybe that's what it is, a roofer's hammer or tool. Then we're going to get a big cleaver here. Big cleaver. A lot of damage to be done with that. And we got a slightly smaller cleaver right here. And there's a lot of weapons. I'm talking a lot. Then we're going to get a butcher knife. Of course, you got to have a butcher knife. And then we're going to get a big time machete here. Look at that. All this stuff I'm sure you're going to be able to use with all your other Ultimate action figures back here. Here we got a claw hammer. Very good. And then we're going to get another, looks like a roofer's hammer. Or a woodworker's hammer there, not sure. And then, sticking with the weapons, we're going to get a drill. And it actually does have the cord, and it does have the prongs. So can't use that till we get a little electricity. And then we're going to get a gun, because he does shoot Tara in the face there to kill her with a gun. All else fails, use a gun. Then we're going to get a little scalpel type knife, wooden handle. This is a ton, an absolute ton of stuff. And then we're going to get an awl, I think. An awl, woodworker's tool right there. And here is a, if I can get it out of here, a surgeon's scalpel. Little bitty surgeon scalpel. Boy, oh boy. And here it is. How about this one? The old hacksaw. We get to cut Dawn right in half with that hacksaw. That is awesome. That's probably the main one right there. But that's not all, folks. We'll go through these hands. We're going to get a Art the Clown being able to say everything is A-OK. A-OK right there. We're going to get a trying to reach out and get your hands. Those are both right hands. And then we're going to get another right hand, which is going to be our trigger finger, I do believe, to shoot the gun so we can kill Tara. And then we're going to get a gripping hand, gripping right hand. A lot of right hands here. All those are right hands. And we only get 2 left hands. We get another, looks like a trigger finger hand to shoot a gun, left-handed. And then we get a left gripping hand. And that's kind of that's about the same. I was going to say it's a little tighter, but I don't think so. That's a ton of weapons right there. And that is not all. We're going to get the homeless lady's little baby doll. And Art does end up liking this little baby doll too there at the end. And then we're going to get all these extra face sculpts. So this is pretty cool. This is going to be able to just pop the face off of the figure, and this will go back on it. It's got these little pegs and a hole right there. So this is something different. You don't see this all the time, but that's going to be good. This first one is kind of that kind of growling mouth, teeth slightly apart. Next one is going to be I don't know if that's a laughing or a yelling. I think it's a maniacal laughing face. These look great, though. Got the little dot there, lipstick all around. Teeth is rotten. Got the big eyebrows. And then the black paint around the eyes. Awesome stuff. And that's not all. We're going to get the pouting Art the Clown there. That looks really scary there. I remember him in the restaurant when he sat down there and was teasing the girls before he gave the ring, the little ring to the girl. All right, that is not all, folks. There is right here in the back, taped to the plastic, and I was wondering if we was going to get this. And man, I was going to say, if we don't get this, what are we going to do with all these weapons? We have none other than Art the Clown's garbage bag to carry all of his weapons in. We'll get rid of that plastic bag. And this is great. It looks like you probably be able to open it up. There is feels like a piece of cardboard in there, but I'm sure you could open that up and shove all of your weapons in there. And then Art the Clown just throws that over his shoulder, walks around with it. So very, very nice touch right there. You know how cheap that is to make that? Very good. Very good that they give us that. That's it. That's the most accessories I've ever gone over in any figure, even if it's a double figure. I've opened a few double figures, and this by far is the most. All right, we're going to go ahead, and I don't think he's tied in. That's something different. So we're going to grab Art the Clown by his toe, pull him up, and Art the Clown has been resurrected. Here he is, empty coffin. Now let me see what all this hubbub is about. Head. It looks up pretty good. Looks way down. It's a lot of head. Oh, look at that tilt there. Wow. Okay, I see what everybody's talking about now. A lot of movement here. A lot of movement. Head will go all the way around. Now the head, it doesn't need to be removable. I'm not sure if it is. I'm not going to pull on it. What it has to be removable is that face, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Shoulders go all the way around. He's got the single hinge in there, and he's not getting a big spread right there, but I think that's good enough. He's got single jointed elbow, get you a little more than a 90, I think, and it will throw the Nolan Ryan fastball. He's got hands. Let's see, how hard are these? These hands look like they're going to be hard to get off. Not bad. They do have the peg on the hand, so I do like that. And they are articulated, and I don't know how much they're going to be able to move with these big clown handcuffs or arm cuffs, sleeve cuffs right there, whatever we want to call them. Let's see. We're going to have, look at the ab crunch in there. We got the hula hoop waist. A lot of movement here. Split. Look at the splits by Art the Clown. It is big ball joints in there. He can swing way up and way back. Yeah. He's got single jointed knees, and they do pivot around. And we have ankle articulation, a little bit of a rocker, not going to flex very much. That's it. So, but it feels good. I'll say the shoulders are a little tight. I'm sure they'll loosen up over time, but let's take a look at this guy. Man, you can get all kinds of flexibility out of this thing. That head is crazy good. Crazy good. But he's got the smiling face right here. Teeth closed. Pulling in some air or something right there. This is scary. Got that hat on. Little hat. The outfit. Of course, you got to have that. Now, there is a bloody variant of this, and I have not seen it yet, but I indeed do want it. I really want it bad. I can't find it, though. Most places are sold out. The hands out of the box are just going to be open hands, so that looks awesome. I'm sure he's going to be able to, all these hands here, you're going to be able to hold all these weapons. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go over all of those right now, but I will try to put them in on the glamour shots. But, man, I do like it. I'm not sure if it's the best one out there, but it's got to be close. There's a couple more that I've seen that I think might be a little better. The Mummy, for instance, the Universal Monsters, the Mummy, was really good articulated. All right, let's see what we can do. Face pulls out. That's what you got underneath it. So which face? I'm going to try to put on this kind of pouting Art the Clown face. That is cool how they built this. Wonder if we'll get more of this. Let's see. Plug that in there, and look at that. Now, it does work out for him perfect because he had that kind of hood that he just pulls over, that white hood, and it doesn't make it look any weird because that's the way it is, you know, in the movie. So there's that pouting face. See if we can get his hands up here some way. Very tight arms. There you go. Look, he's pouting away, just crying. He's worried. All right, let's see. Try another one. We'll get this sinister mouth partially opened face sculpt on there. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's so far probably my least favorite one. I think this is going to be my favorite one, the maniacal yelling or laughing, one or the other face sculpts. Yeah, I think that might be what I display him with there. That looks creepy as hell right there. I like it. I guess we can go ahead and try a trigger finger while we're moving along here. Hands are very tough to get off. Not only are they tight, but you also have that cuff sleeve, that shirt sleeve cuff right there. That's may have to heat this up to get it all the way in there, but I'm sure it'll go down once we heat it up. I imagine. There we go. Got it in there. He's got his gun, shoots Tara, and then let's see. We might as well try to see if we can get a gripping hand so we can saw Dawn in half. The girl he hangs upside down and starts from her crotch and works her way down to the head. That was one of the most gruesome scenes in any movie I've ever seen. They went for it, and man, did they ever succeed. All right, I want to make sure that this is going to fit in there. Hands again. Very hard to get on and off. Okay, I'm going to go with this other hand. I thought it was a trigger finger, and it just might be, but I got that hacksaw in there easier than I did this one. I think if I heated this up, I think it'll work good. So I'll probably try that in the glamour shots, but for time's sake, we'll just go ahead and put that on there. How about that? Then if we get a gripping hand, we can put all these in there. Maybe I'll do that for the glamour shots. You can put his open hands again off and probably cradle the baby doll. But all kinds of stuff you're going to be able to do with this guy. So this guy is an icon, so I think we might as well get down our other icons. How about Leatherface? How about Leatherface there and Art? How about Fred Krueger? Old Freddy there. And then we're going to get our Jason Voorhees down. Yes, sir. Probably my favorite one. I don't know, Leatherface or Jason. And then how about we get Michael Myers? Look at that lineup. Do these all belong together? Who else belongs in this? Anybody else got any idea other than our Universal monsters? But these are some iconic horror characters. It's probably the best of the best. Art the Clown is new, but I think he'll get there. I'm going to look around, give it a quick look here. Yeah, that's about it. I do have the Nun up there, but nah. This right here is one hell of a lineup. I love it. I love it. Don't forget to check out the Never Not Horror podcast on Apple Music, on Amazon Music, on Audible, on iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your podcasts at. Check that out, Never Not Horror. And that's going to be it. So for Damien Leone's Terrifier, Ultimate Art the Clown, NECA, happy Halloween, everybody. Till next time. Oh, yeah.